am Dior Clary, and I am a Christian bilingual singer-songwriter as well as a digital marketing specialist, and I am from Memphis, Tennessee.
What is the title of your story?
Mine is called Now I'm Stronger. The reason why I came up with that title is because when I was going through the most traumatic time of my life, it started when I was 23, right before I turned 24, where I dealt with mental health challenges, I dealt with being molested, and I dealt with like a breakup from a long-term relationship. So that's why I titled it Now I'm Stronger, because back then I thought I was strong, but when you go through something, you actually understand that God made you resilient, and that what you go through, it doesn't have to change who you are, but it takes you to the destiny that you were always intended to be by God.
What was your trauma?
My trauma actually started probably, I would say, the day I broke up with my long-term boyfriend, because he was cheating on me, pretending like I was fine. And about maybe 2 weeks later, I ended up in a mental hospital for a severe manic episode because I wasn't handling the emotional pain the right way. And actually, that first day that I was in the mental hospital, I was molested. So that just compounded everything.
In the hospital?
In the hospital. By another patient. I got out of the hospital maybe like 7 days later. The worst depression that I ever experienced was after I came out of that hospital the second time.
The second time.
Because then I started having suicidal thoughts, and I was on medicine then, but I didn't feel like myself. When I looked in the mirror, I saw myself, but I was like, this isn't me. Lord, I'm trapped. I can't get out of my body. Please help me. And the help that I was asking for was for my life to be taken away. But he reminded me of Jeremiah 29:11 that said, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope in the future." So I just clung to that, and I wrote a song called Purpose. Those words just gave me life. And that's how I got through that part. But there's so much healing that still needs to be, taking place. But to answer your question, that was the traumatic part of my life.
Wow. What would you say to the young women that may have experienced a traumatic breakup? Okay.
I would say don't give up. That person that you were with, they don't define you. Your past hurts don't define you. Even what you have probably said to yourself, the negativity that you might have heard from someone, the negativity that you might have experienced, that doesn't define you. But God's word, it does. He says that you are royalty. He says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You just have to have faith and continue to take it one step and push him forward, because baby, you were born with a purpose. You are distinguished and worth it. And what's in you is God's spirit and power. And you will definitely get through this, and you will be triumphant. Don't you ever forget it.
Yes.
I'm Marjorie Wade Kyles, and I am a therapist. I do have my own business. It's called The Head Shop.
What's the title?
So the title of my section is Boss Lady Dre. She ain't finished yet. She's just getting started. The reason I titled my section that because it's really been, all of my life has really kind of been an obstacle for me to I've had a lot of dreams. I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, things I wanted to complete. I really didn't start living until I was like 45.
Did you ever think that anything was impossible before this?
The things that happened to me, being molested, I can't even remember what age I was. When writing this book, Sometimes I cried, but most of the time it just excited me. I was like, okay, I'm moving in my purpose. You know, I'm moving in it. This is where I was supposed to be. You know, it hurt getting here. And it was crazy, and sometimes I didn't know where I was, what I was gonna do, who are you, what you doing this stuff for. But now I see why.
Share with us, what was your trauma?
My trauma was I was molested when I was young. As I was just living, my life was so chaotic, and the crazy things I would do growing up. At school, I was one way. When I got home, I was a totally different person. So I remember as I started to become an adult and I had my daughter, actually I got pregnant with her in the 12th grade, but just having to be that parent and be responsible and trying to act responsible. I remember just asking God, sitting in the bathroom, Lord, you know, I want to be me before this. What would my life have been like if that stuff hadn't happened to me? If it hadn't happened to me, what would I be like? You know, I'm striving for things now just because I have to. Because I have to eat. I have to have a place for my daughter to live. You know, I have to live and live. But I wasn't living. So I would always say to myself, I want to be what I was if this hadn't happened. What would I be if this hadn't happened to me? That was a constant question all the time. And it took a long time. I was stuck. I was so stuck there.
My name is Shalisa Houston. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm an entrepreneur. I have 2 daycares in Memphis.
What is the title of your story in Shattered?
The title of my story is Overcoming Life Obstacles.
How did you overcome the challenge of moving forward?
Oh, I say yes. My biggest issue was like when I got pregnant at 16. My mom always been saved and been my biggest supporter. I even have these signs in my room that believe yourself. I was silenced at church when I walked in church. One Sunday, my pastor, he was like, my nickname is Busy, everybody call me Busy. So he was like, Busy, stop at the door, and I did. And I was like, what'd I do? And he was like, you pregnant. So don't come any further anymore. So I had to sit in the back row in the church. So writing this story kind of like hurt, you know. I wasn't healed from a 16-year-old girl. And I realized that then. And so what hurt me the most was when he silenced me that day. So all my life, I guess probably about May of this year, I got in the mirror and I said, 16-year-old Shalisa, you don't exist anymore. You have been an awesome mom for your children. I raised my children. I worked at Methodist for 13 years as an EKG monitor tech, a dialysis tech, and a medical assistant. And I have owned my home for 34 years. And, you know, I just instill in my children, but, you know, like she say, so I'm living now.
Yes.
Because I live to make sure my children never was hurt.
Yes.
I just buried the pain and just did everything I could do till I got in the mirror and faced, you no longer condemn.
Yes.
You have done this, you have succeeded in this. And my children always thought I was rich and their hero. And that's why my daughter, my best friend.
Oh, man. This has been Shattered by One's Touch, and we overcame. Segment 2, Volume 1. Make sure that you stay tuned and have a great day.